Hello, beloved. Welcome to our second week of our study, our Lenten study, Traveling the Prayer Paths of Jesus. This week's study is titled Along the Roadside or At the Roadside. If you think about planning a trip, if you're a planner, you plan your route, your stops, your activities. As I share this study and this introduction to week number 2, I'm actually on a sabbatical. And long before I left for this trip, I planned my routes. I'm going to see my kids. I'm going to see some different places around the country. And so I planned my trip. I planned my routes. I planned my stops, my activities. And there is a gift in traveling. You know, the metaphor of our life is a journey, and our life unfolds constantly. So when you take a trip, you set out on a destination. You want to see something, do a set of activities. You may go to be out in nature, to be part of natural beauty. We move, as I said, from point A to point B. We may go see family or friends, whatever the trip may be, whatever our plans are. As we travel along, in the midst of the journey unfolds. That's true of our own personal life journey and faith journey. So as we follow along with Jesus in the Gospels and follow his prayer paths, we find again that Jesus is constantly moving. He's on a mission. He's moving from point A to point B. And what happens along the road, and as he pauses along the roadside, he pauses because he is encountering people. That's the ministry of Jesus. He encounters people and what's unfolding in their lives. So what's interesting about that, and we see that in our own life journey and faith journey, is that as Jesus is traveling his path and as we encounter him, then our encounters with Jesus become divine encounters. So the journey unfolds, our life and faith unfolds, and even Jesus watched who crossed his path and when. You hear me say that all the time. That's how life and faith happens. That's how the grace and presence of God unfolds in our life. Watch who crosses your path and when. Because any given day, any place on the path can become an encounter with a person through which and through whom even we encounter God. So as we watch Jesus and follow the prayer paths of Jesus in this week number 2, we see that along the way, along the roadside, we encounter people in our lives. And even as well planned as our journey may be, there are interruptions, there are detours, there are people that we encounter that we never dreamed of meeting, relationships that unfold in our lives. And so we learn in the journey to be more attentive, more spontaneous, more responsive, more adaptive. So that's one of the things that following the prayer path of Jesus helps us learn, is prayer helps us be attentive to God and attentive to our life. And even as well planned as the journey may be, it's the interruptions that may become holy interruptions. It's the detours that may become defining moments in our life. And so prayer helps us learn to be more attentive, more responsive, even more spontaneous and alert to how God may be present and active in our lives. So give thanks for the journey. Be prayerful that helps you learn to be attentive and responsive and adaptive. and watch who crosses your path and when. Because maybe even through someone in your life, some encounter, you and I will encounter Jesus in a new way. May it be so for each of us in this Lenten journey.